All right, so welcome to another quick tips options video. And in this episode, I'm going to go in and give you a little insight on how do I find out when my stock has earnings. And if you don't even know what earnings are, it's basically a news report that says how well the company did or not do during the last quarter. So companies release this periodically to be able to show you, hey, how well it's performing and how well it's doing. So you may want to know when there are earnings, because if you don't know when there is an earnings report, what's going to happen is, let's say you're doing an iron condor, a vertical spread, you're an investor. Well, it could actually whip that stock either to the upside or to the downside, and that could be an issue or it could be nice in your favor. So it's important to know when the earnings are, and I'm going to share with you a few different methods. I'll share with you some on a trading platform. I'll also share with you some that are not on a trading platform. But if you're brand new to options trading, definitely check out the Traders Fly website. There's a lot of great tips, insights, freebies, and webinars there to check out. So I highly encourage you to go there. All right, so let's get started, and we're going to take a look at method number one. And method number one is looking at the think or swim icon. So the one thing that I have here, if we look at the broker, is we look at Thinkorswim, and this is just a simulated account, but it'll still show you just the icons, and you can see these icons here next to the positions that I have. And if you click it, you can see earnings on ExxonMobil is on 7/28. Now today's video is on July 19th, so that's 7/19. But you'll see that certain companies are on 8/2. So you might be watching this like a week or two later after I film it. In either case, what we've got here is we can see the earnings just based on clicking the icon right there. Okay, so that's kind of part one. Okay, method number two, what we can do is we can actually go to the events page on Thinkorswim. It's really actually the calendars page, but if you go to the market watch area, so you can see you have monitor, trade, analyze, scan, market watch, and you might see something like this first, maybe alerts, visualize, financing rates, and then we'll go to calendar. So if we go to calendar, now what we have is we can check earnings here on the side. And there's all the earnings that are coming up in those stocks, but I could look up, let's say, ExxonMobil, and you can see ExxonMobil is on the 28th because I've put in the ticker symbol there. If I don't put in a ticker symbol, there's a ton of earnings, and I can pick what date, let's say over here, and it'll give me all of these earnings for these symbols. So, and I can move this symbol over here and then sort it, but unfortunately not, I'm not looking for a lot of these companies, so it really doesn't matter. But let's say I'm particularly interested in Amazon, so I can pull up Amazon, I can see, hey, that one is next week. So that's kind of method number two as far as doing it. Let's look at method number three, and that is search Google or a search engine. So if I'm just looking up for Tesla's earnings date, I can just search for Tesla's earnings date, and we have an upcoming call at 5:30 p.m. For that event on the Q2. So by clicking this, what it'll do is it'll tell you right there, you can check out the event, and then it'll give you kind of, okay, some of the financials and so on. So this is another way of doing it. You can also look up, let's say, ExxonMobil earnings date. So as you look at this, let's see if it'll give it to you. ExxonMobil earnings date. We'll do a quick little search, and scheduled right here. There it is. This one's scheduled for July 28th, it says. So upcoming earnings calls, and you've got it right there. Okay, so that's kind of method number three. The other thing is, if we look at method number four, is you can actually look at the company's investors page. So a lot of times, if you search for ExxonMobil website investors page, something like that, like for the investors, news and events. So you can see right here, I've got news and events on ExxonMobil investors, and it tells you a little bit, hey, July 17th, this was kind of a report. It tells you some other stuff over here, and upcoming event, they kind of legally have to disclose July 28th. So it tells you kind of exactly there, and you can add that to the calendar. So it'll usually go to an investor's page of some sort. Now, every investor page is going to look a little different, but that's kind of another way to look at it. All right, let's look at number 5 here, and that is check previous earnings dates. So if you can't find it, one way to do that is look at the chart, and here I've got ExxonMobil, And what you'll see is these icons here on the bottom of the chart, okay? And those, in the same way, if you move your mouse over, just look, 428 was a previous earnings, then another one was 131, 2023, and then another one back here was on 10/28, and we're right now in July. So this was July 29th, but this year's July 28th. So you know it's somewhere in that range, because they'll probably be very similar. So this one is 29th, but this time we have it on the 28th for ExxonMobil here. So if we pull that up, that's 28th. So close enough. That's one way to look at it. ExxonMobil previous earnings reports. If we look that up, you can take a look. Here is the NASDAQ earnings per share, and they might give you kind of a date. If we zoom in a little bit, and then we'll take a look, financial quarter end and date reported, 4/28, 2023, and July 29th, 2022. So you can see right there, there's another way to kind of check it out. And I will give you the final version. This is kind of the version the options traders use, at least the more advanced options. This is kind of the way we approach it, is we look at the options of volatility. And what you'll see is the volatility will usually spike. And what you're looking at here is you've got 27% volatility. This goes to the 2-day options. Then you got 9-day and 16. And we know earnings is right around this time frame, the 28th, 29th. So it's going to be this one. What you'll notice here is you've got 27 volatility, then you got 30, then you're back down to 28. So we know earnings is going to be somewhere right there in that zone. And that's kind of one other way to look at it, is which options you want to trade, because then it gets back to normal levels. That's a 30, but then we're back to 28 and 27. So anyways, that's how you would go about it for looking at these kinds of things and checking the earnings when they are, because you might want to do some quick adjustments to your position, or just watch out for them. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about options, just check out tradingwebinars.co. There's a lot of great material there, free webinars. It's just one of our other websites. It's absolutely free. You can check it out and just join for just put your email in and we'll send you some free webinars there and you can check those out. Anyways, I hope that helps. Truly appreciate you sticking with me. Enjoy the rest of the week ahead and I will see you next time. Thanks and take care.